Jane Unchained Live Talk with the Olympic medalist Stotzi Bausch. This is an urgent situation. We have a once-in-a-lifetime chance, essentially, to get dairy off the USDA guidelines. Take it away. Why is it so important for everybody watching to click the link that is in the introduction and sign your letter now?
Yes, we have an unprecedented situation going on right now. Switch for Good is about to reach total comments that have been sent into the U.S. Dietary Guidelines public commentary, 25% of all total comments asking them, urging them, begging them to drop dairy as a food group. Never before has a specific comment, a specific plea taken over the Dietary Guidelines Committee public commentary. So we are at 23.7%, and we want to get to 25%, very specifically because we have a strategy past this closure date, which is June 1st. So that's why you have to sign now. Very easy. Jane has the link here. You can also just go to switchforgood.org, and it's like front and center. And you sign. We only need about 1,200 more signatures before June 1st, right? So we have almost a week. We can do this, 1,200 more signatures. Once we reach that 25%, that quarter of all comments that have gone in, they must pay attention and listen. If they don't pay attention and listen, we will be filing an official complaint. And we have an entire journey that will unfold this year before the dietary guidelines are released in December. In December, if they're released and dairy is not removed, we have big plans what will happen after that I can't go deep into yet. But this is huge. Obviously, dairy is horrible for the environment and horrible for the animals and horrible for human health. But it's also a situation where 36% of Americans, okay, if you do the math, that's 118 million people cannot digest dairy. They cannot digest the lactose in cow's milk. And so this food group that they push on to people, onto Americans, 118 million of them, it's making them sick. It's giving them itchy skin conditions. It's exacerbating their breathing problems like asthma. It's giving them stomach bloat, diarrhea, constipation, pain in the abdomen. We have had young children write in the last couple of weeks. They've seen this campaign and they've said, this has to happen. One 15-year-old girl, she said, my mom, she gives me whole fat cow's milk every day in my cereal. And she said, I know it's just because she thinks she's doing good because the guidelines say this is what I should be having. But she said, it makes me sick. It makes my stomach hurt. I feel crampy and I'm embarrassed when I go to school in the morning. So that's probably because she's having gas. And so it's embarrassing for her. And she's trying to explain to her mom, there's alternatives. There's other things that I can have. Well, the dietary guidelines don't give any education whatsoever on this issue, that 36% of Americans, this cow's milk is making them sick. They just push it on there. They say you should have it. They do have one little tiny section where they say, hey, if you don't want to eat dairy foods, you could have soy milk. They put that on 5 years ago, but no explanation whatsoever as to why someone would choose soy milk, why they would go over to the alternative. So if you sign now, we can get there. I know we can. We got 1,200 to go.
This is urgent. We've only got a couple of days left, and you've got to sign now. It took me literally 7 seconds. You click on the link that is in the introduction to this live video. You just click on that link, and you literally just hit send. I mean, that's it. And we as Americans, I think this is the most patriotic thing we can do. We have skyrocketing healthcare costs. I mean, I'm retired, even though I work harder than I ever have. But, you know, I'm retired from being in the corporate world, so I pay my own insurance. I pay $900 a month. I went to the doctor last year once for 20 minutes because I hurt myself, hurt my finger. I mean, that's outrageous. Yeah. And we can all lower our healthcare costs. We can make everybody healthier. We can reduce climate change. This is the most patriotic thing we can do. Just go on there, click on that link, hit sign, and we will tell the powers that be, the USDA, to yank dairy, the breast milk of cows, from the guidelines. And the only reason why dairy hasn't completely been wiped out, because people are switching to plant-based milks, consumers. First of all, in this crisis where we're in a stockpile culture, there are plenty of plant-based milks you can stockpile in your cupboard. You don't have to keep them in the fridge. They last longer. There's zero cholesterol. Cholesterol leads to heart disease, which used to be the leading killer until COVID-19, and is still killing 1 out of every 4 Americans approximately. So
which is way worse than COVID.
Yeah. So tell us about this process. Again, this is an urgent call to action. This link is right there in the introduction. Just click on it, sign. Dotsie, what's the timeline here?
Yes, so the public commentary section is going to close on June 1st, okay? So we've got to get the comments in by then so we can reach that quarter of all comments. Then the committee is going to do a review. They've been doing this review since last year. I went and spoke in Washington, D.C. in the middle of July on this very subject when we were allowed to be in the same room in the congressional building to the committee, urging them to remove dairy. So this review has been going on for about a year. On June 17th, they will release a report, which is simply a report based off of their findings. Okay, so if there's not a discussion about dairy and the fact that it's making a third of Americans sick, then we are going to take action, like I said, in the form of a complaint and go through all of the channels to make sure that it is a central figure in the discussion leading into the actual new dietary guidelines coming out, which they will release in December. So mid-July, we'll have another chance to speak publicly. I've also been in contact and had 2 private meetings with the Center for Nutrition, which is in conjunction with the DGA, speaking about this issue. So we're doing a lot of ancillary things on the side besides just this public commentary, hitting them from all angles. I was able to speak with Representative Grace Ming last year in Washington about this issue. So we have certainly a long fight ahead of us, but it starts now, and the guidelines will be released, the new guidelines, in December. And if it's not removed, we have 5 more years. I have all of the hope in the world that at least in those next 5 years, it is a very real reality to have dairy removed. But we're hoping for this December.
All right, so it's very easy. The link is in the intro. All you have to do is click it, sign it. It takes less than 10 seconds. Let's take the power back, people. Let's speak truth to power. Let's tell the U.S. government that they're wasting our tax dollars, making people sick, giving them heart disease, all to support a product that is 100% unnatural. We are humans. We are not calves. We are not designed to drink the breast milk of cows. And it's part of the industrialized animal agriculture system. So all these dairy cows suffer enormously. It's institutionalized torture, and then they get turned into cheap hamburger meat, which is also a health problem for humans. Let's just elevate ourselves. Plant-based milks, they're in abundance. You can have soy milk, you can have almond milk, cashew milk, rice milk, hemp milk, macadamia nut milk. There's tons of them out there. They're healthier for us. They're more sustainable. So let's do this. Click on the link and sign right now. Thank you, Dotsie Bausch.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you. 1,200 to go. We can do it. I know after this is only going to be 500 to go.
Come on, let's do it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.